Have you ever had that feeling like you're just starting to figure it out?
You know, that moment where everything kind of clicks. Maybe you found the perfect machine, or you've landed on just the right strategy.
It's this feeling that you're not just playing anymore. No, you're actually getting better. Like you're developing a real skill.
Well, that feeling, it actually has a name. It's a classic cognitive bias known as the illusion of control. And it's exactly what it sounds like. It's our tendency to think we have more influence over random events than we really truly do.
Now, here's the thing. This isn't some kind of flaw in your thinking. Not at all. Your brain is literally a pattern matching machine. It's just hardwired to connect cause and effect. You know, I do this, and then that happens. And honestly, it's a survival mechanism that serves us incredibly well in most parts of life. But when you put that same brain into an environment that's run by pure random chance, think a slot machine, a lottery drawing, that very same mechanism, it becomes a trap. See, your brain keeps right on searching for those patterns. And what's wild is, it finds them, even when they don't actually exist.
So there's this really famous study that shows just how powerful this illusion is. A psychologist named Alan Langer did this experiment where she sold $1 lottery tickets to two different groups of office workers. Now, for the first group, she just handed them a ticket. Simple enough. But the second group, they got to choose their own. Then, right before the big draw, she went back and offered to buy the tickets back from everyone.
And get this, the group that got to choose their own tickets, on average, they refused to sell them back for anything less than $8.67. Just think about that. The simple act of choosing made them feel like their ticket was suddenly way more valuable, way more likely to be a winner.
Now compare that to the other group, the ones who were just handed a random ticket. What did they want for it? On average, just under $2. The odds were exactly the same for every single ticket in the game, but that one little thing, personal choice, created this incredibly powerful illusion of control.
Langer actually called these things skill cues. They're basically elements that trick our brains into thinking a game of chance is actually a game of skill. So we're talking about things like, having a choice or being physically involved, like when you're the one throwing the dice. Even things like competing against other people, or just that feeling of familiarity you get with what you think is your lucky machine.
And this is really the most important part. When you're in the middle of it, the illusion of control doesn't feel like you're making a mistake. It doesn't feel like some textbook cognitive bias. No, it feels like insight. It feels like you're finally gaining an edge.
Suddenly, you start assigning all this meaning to things that are completely random. You find yourself thinking stuff like, oh yeah, this machine is definitely heating up. Or maybe, I knew it. I shouldn't have switched off my original numbers.
And that's what makes this whole illusion so tricky and so powerful. Because eventually, by pure chance, a win is gonna happen that seems to confirm everything you believe. You follow a hunch, and boom, it pays off. And your brain, it just latches onto that moment and says, see, that's the proof.
That false pattern gets reinforced, and your brain's internal monologue is just shouting, see, that win happened because of what I did. My strategy actually worked.
But it wasn't. It really wasn't.
It was just pure random chance, lining up for a second in a way that looked like cause and effect. And once that feeling of having some influence takes hold, you start to rely on it. You start to push past your limits, maybe stay a little longer, because it doesn't feel like you're just gambling anymore. It feels like you're making smart, strategic decisions. But the truth is, the odds, they haven't changed one bit. The only thing that's changed is your perception.
So, what can you do about this? How do you counteract it? Well, it's not about trying to fight the feeling head on. It's about questioning the assumption that's driving it. The real key here is to just create a little space for awareness. So, number one, just pause. Take a breath. And then number two, ask yourself a really simple question. Is what I'm feeling right now actual influence, or is it just my interpretation of what's going on? And please remember, recognizing this illusion of control doesn't mean you're irrational or that there's something wrong with you. It just means your brain is doing the exact job it was designed to do, find patterns. But it's doing it in an environment where those patterns are just meaningless. Getting that distinction? That's the real first step to regaining true control. Because when you start to understand the architecture of your own mind, you can navigate these situations with so much more clarity. And that, of course, brings us right back to what we're all about here. Control your emotions, control your outcomes.
Hey, if you found this explainer on the illusion of control helpful, do me a favor and hit that like button, and definitely subscribe for more insights into the psychology of risk and decision making. I'm really curious, have you ever felt this illusion yourself? Let me know. Share your experience down in the comments. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, stay sharp.